Listen up, hockey fans. You're in the right place. A no-hold-barred debate between two hockey fans. Stay up to date on current issues in the NHL, even the controversial ones. Welcome to The Debate Hockey Podcast with your host, Brad Burud.
McDavid flying in, and he crashes into the Flames net. Tripping is the call.
He winds it up from the defensive zone, gets himself going at the last second, protects, drives, and the last-ditch effort there by Giordano to dive through and poke that puck takes him down. And he goes in hard into the net and crashes through.
Well, Blake, the regular season is complete now.
Yep.
Now it's time to start the battle for Lord Stanley. And this is the time of year where I'm glued to the TV sets every night or watching as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And up as late at night as I can, I guess. Some great matchups, some great teams, a lot of players and teams under pressure to get over that hump this year. Will there be a surprise team this year? It could be. Every other year that I can think of, there seems like there's always that sleeper team, and we'll talk a little bit about that. I love predictions in this. That's what this show is.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about who we think. And we're also going to spend some time making fun of each other a little bit.
Sure.
Because some of our preseason predictions were really pretty good.
Yeah.
And then some of them were like, yeah, what were we thinking there?
Yeah.
We'll go through each round, break them down, talk about who we think is going to win, and give a little insight and expertise on each of the matchups. It's nice outside today, Blake.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's time to start golfing.
Yep.
Going to go down to Georgia early this week and play a couple rounds of golf and then get back before the playoffs start. And it's Masters time. And
Who you got in the Masters?
I haven't decided. I haven't done my poll yet. I'm doing it this afternoon. No.
Come on, man. He's due.
He's been due for 6 years. That doesn't mean he's going to win.
He's due in the Masters.
Edmonton's due.
No, they're not. Let's not talk about that.
Well, it's Stanley Cup Playoff time. Today's show, Section 1, we're going to go through regular season predictions, and we're going to dive into the Eastern Conference Playoff preview and predictions, and then we'll head on to the Western Conference, and we'll wrap the show up with a little bit of news from around the league. Make sure you get on Inside Edge Hockey News. Sign up for our NHL Bracket Challenge. It's through NHL.com, chance to win $100,000, and Inside Edge Hockey News will have a bunch of prizes too. And plus, you'll have bragging rights on the Debate Hockey Podcast, because as the playoffs go, we are going to follow this bracket and talk about who's picking right and who's picking wrong. Also, follow us on Twitter, @DebateHockey. And make sure you check out our sponsor, CoolHockey.com. Get yourself a jersey for the playoffs. Type in Inside 20 at the checkout. Get yourself 20% off. Blake, do you have a jersey of the week?
No, not this week.
Come on, Blake.
I haven't. I've been busy getting ready for this playoff show.
I picked a guy that...
Oh, actually, Leon Draisaitl got his 50th of the year.
Oh, jeepers. Yeah, you better go get an Edmonton Oilers jersey.
He on all the shitty things that happened in Edmonton this year, that's the one bright spot. Like, Draisaitl scored 50 goals.
Well, what does it tell you when your team has two
100-point players and you miss the playoffs?
And you don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's not a good look in Edmonton for sure. But I mean, I think he's the first German player to score 50 goals in the NHL.
I like Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah.
He's a good goalie.
Good goal. He's sleeping, or
he's a good goal scorer.
Yeah, good goal scorer.
It is early in the morning. We usually do the show at evenings, and we're doing it early in the morning here. My jersey of the week is a jersey that I think you should get because he probably has played his last game, and that's Roberto Luongo.
Yeah, no, I got a Luongo jersey hanging up in my apartment right now, and if this is it for Luongo, hats off! What a great career, and
yeah,
he's a for sure Hall of Famer, and yeah, he was.
You might get some arguments.
He was a pivotal part of a Canucks organization that had a lot of deep runs in the playoffs, so it is pretty cool.
They are our sponsor, CoolHockey.com. We thank them for their sponsorship, and make sure you get yourself a jersey this week.
CoolHockey.com. Jerseys online since '99.
Let's start the show off with a little bit of regular season predictions. We'll kind of roll through each of the divisions. We'll tell you what I picked, we'll tell you what Blake picked, and then we'll compare that to what actually happened. And Blake and I were right more than I guess usual.
Mm-hmm.
We struggled a little more last year on predictions than we did this year. We weren't terrible this year, Blake.
No, we
should give each other some credit because we actually didn't do too bad.
Yeah, no, I had a couple bad ones, but
let's take a look at the Atlantic first.
Sure.
And in the Atlantic, and I'll rate what I said, and then we'll do what you said. I had Tampa Bay, Boston, Toronto, Florida, Buffalo, Detroit, Montreal, and Ottawa, which is pretty darn close. I had the top three exactly right. I did not have Florida right. I had Montreal had Florida spot, but other than that, we were right on the money there. You had Toronto, Tampa Bay, Boston, Buffalo, Florida, Montreal, Detroit, Ottawa. So you had the top three right in a little bit different order, but you had them right. You had Buffalo getting a wild card. I had Florida getting a wild card. We were both wrong there.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that both of our teams, Florida and Buffalo, didn't make a step this year.
Yeah, I really thought Buffalo would take the next step, and they were really good. You know, they won 10 in a row. They started the season like 17-5. I'm like, oh, like this is a good hockey team. And then Skinner stopped scoring goals. Carter Hutton stopped stopping the puck, and everything went downhill from there. And unfortunately, Phil Hosey might pay for it.
That team has got to do something. And I'm not.
Did they re-sign Skinner?
No.
You don't think
Oh,
so?
do they?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said did they?
No, do they?
I think they're trying their hardest to. They'd be fools not to.
What's the case to stay there though if you're Skinner?
I don't know.
Like they haven't had much success in the past years, and like I think they are going to take the next
Buffalo's
step.
A bad place to play.
No,
I love Buffalo's fan base.
But I'm saying like,
no, I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
And I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. You know, I think we could. Here's the deal with that. And it kind of frustrates me when people say that. I think I could find something wrong with every market and throw stones at every market.
Yeah.
Don't you think you could too?
But I mean, like in terms of, I mean, every player wants to win, right?
Some more than others.
For Skinner, you're a UFA. You can go anywhere you want.
Well,
why
no,
Buffalo?
You can't go anywhere you want.
Yeah, you can.
Well, I know, but the
After
team has
July
to want you.
Who wouldn't want Skinner? He scored 40 goals.
A lot of teams can't afford him.
I know. But
Edmonton would love him, but they can't sign him.
Anybody, he can go to anywhere he wants that can afford him.
Yeah. Sadly, that's not as many teams as you probably think.
Depends how much he wants. Like I don't know. Like
he's going to want big money.
He's had one good year.
I know, but
consistent scoring.
But since when did general managers judge off of?
Oh, usually they just jump the hook and give him money, like Vancouver did with Louis Eriksson in 2015. But
scary. He's twice the player as Louis Eriksson.
I know, and he's getting $6 million.
Let's roll through your Atlantic.
Sure.
We talked about the top three. Yeah, we did.
We're
done. I'm losing my mind today, Blake.
Let's do.
Let's roll on to the Metro then.
Sure.
I'll go through mine. I had Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Washington, Islanders, Jersey, Columbus, Carolina, the Rangers. This was my worst one. You had Pittsburgh, Washington, Philadelphia, Columbus, New Jersey, Carolina, Rangers, and Islanders. So where you went wrong, you had the Islanders dead last.
Yeah.
You did have Columbus getting a wild card, which they did. You had Carolina way too low, and you had Philly way too high.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh
not as high as you, though.
No. That was my worst pick of the year.
Yeah.
I had Philly at second, which they took sixth.
Yeah.
But I had Pittsburgh correct. I had Washington correct. I had the Islanders correct. I missed on Columbus and Carolina as a wild card. So. That was probably our worst division.
Yeah. I feel like that's the most unpredictable division, though.
Well,
because you don't know what you're going to get with Columbus. You don't know what you're going to get with Carolina.
But you know what you're going to get with Pittsburgh, Washington, though.
Well, yeah.
And those are the ones we nailed.
Yeah, but you don't know what you're going to get with Philly. You don't know what you're going to get with the New York Islanders. You know what I mean? And those teams just They buckled down and got it done, right? That's the bottom line. But I mean, there's only 2 locks in that division for playoffs, and Pittsburgh almost missed the playoffs this year.
I know.
So
let's quickly roll through who we got in the conference finals in the Eastern Conference. We both had the same.
Mm-hmm.
We both have Tampa Bay beating Pittsburgh. And we did these predictions on October 2nd, and I've saved them, and I knew we'd want to talk about them in our end of the regular season show. But, I didn't think we did too bad on that conference. We messed the Metro up a little bit,
yeah,
but not terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Let's roll on over to the Western Conference and talk a little bit about that. And in the Central Division, I had Winnipeg, Nashville, St. Louis, Dallas, Colorado, Minnesota, Chicago. That's not terrible. The only one I had messed up in that whole thing was a flip-flop between Winnipeg and Nashville,
mm-hmm,
and a flip-flop between Minnesota, Chicago, which happened on the last day of the season.
Yeah.
You had Winnipeg, St. Louis, Nashville, Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota, Chicago.
I had 2 wild cards in the Central, didn't I?
But the thing you had right is you had both of the wild cards right.
Yeah.
And you had the top 3 right. I had the top 3 right, and I had one of the wild cards right.
Yeah.
So we just had a little bit of flip-flop in there, but not bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like that there would be 2 wild cards in that Central.
It was a weird year because initially it looked like there was going to be 2 for sure.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the Pacific
Arizona
took off.
Yeah.
And then it looked like...
Yeah.
And Colorado and Dallas and Minnesota looked like they were trying to play themselves to last place.
Yeah.
And then it looked like there was going to be 2 wild cards out of the Pacific.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, with about a month left in the season,
mm-hmm,
Colorado and Dallas decided to start winning some hockey games. And then some of those Pacific teams like Vancouver, Arizona, and them kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah.
So it played out to our predictions, which is rare that me and you can say we had pretty much everything right in the Central.
mm-hmm.
Rolling on to the Pacific, I had Calgary, San Jose, Anaheim, Edmonton, Vegas, Arizona, Los Angeles, and Vancouver. You had Calgary, San Jose, Los Angeles, Anaheim, Vegas, Edmonton, Arizona, Vancouver. We had 2 of the top 3 right in the Calgary, San Jose.
We both had a
bad one there.
A wild card, like a...
You had LA and I had Anaheim.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
Vegas kind of snuck in on both of us again. I'm still not picking them.
Like they flew under the radar last year, and I was like, they're gonna take a step back, but I'll still put them in as a wild card team.
Mm-mm.
I had them. Oh yeah, that's right. I had them missing. Yeah, that's right. But it's tough. They're a pesky team, man.
I had Edmonton. I thought this year things had to be better in Edmonton. I don't know. I just thought.
Why did you think that though? Like, what makes you think that?
Because when you do have Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid,
that's it though.
No, I know that, but just think about that though. Just think for a second.
Okay, what are you gonna play them 30 minutes each?
No, but you can figure out how to build something just to get into the playoffs around them.
You can't. McDavid's making 12.5. Draisaitl's making 9.5. You got Clefbaum making 5. You got Koskinen making 4.5 next year.
That might not be that bad.
You got Nugent Hopkins making 6. He's nowhere near where 6. And you got Larson making 5.5. You got all these big. You got Lucic making $7 million. I mean, it's tough to build a team around that when Peter Chiarelli tied his hands. You know, it's tough.
Arizona was higher in the standings and kind of fell late. We both had them kind of in the middle back part of the pack. We both had Vancouver in 8th, and Vancouver was a good story this year. It moved up to 5th on us, and they might be a fringe team next year.
No, they're going to be expected to make the playoffs next year.
No.
Yeah, they are. It's going to be. It's going to be.
How do you expect a team?
Because I think Jim Benning is going to make a splash in free agency this summer.
Who?
Huh?
Who?
He'll get some players. A big name is going to Vancouver this summer. Whether it's on forward or it's on the back end, somebody's going to Vancouver. They're gonna get a top dog this year. They have $33 million in cap.
Yeah, but that $33 million has got to pay some of their young starts here coming up.
Yeah,
so you have to put some in your back pocket.
Louis Eriksson comes off the books. That's $6 million.
I know, but you still have to put some in your back pocket.
No, they do.
You have to.
No, I know. But the cap's going up every year, so.
But you can't bank on that.
No, I know, but they got.
Because you know what? This next year it might not. What happens next year that leads you to believe that the cap will go up?
Well, the cap's going to go up this summer.
Yeah, but they've already announced that based off the previous season's revenue.
Oh yeah, okay.
But I don't think it's going to go up until after the next collective bargaining agreement.
You're probably right.
So I just you can't. It's kind of like
I'm not saying they're going to go give two players $12 million. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I know that. I know.
But I wouldn't surprise me if Vancouver signed like a Matt Duchene. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Why would Matt Duchene want to go to Vancouver?
Because look at their young talent. Who wouldn't want to go play with Pettersson, Horvat, Besser, Quinn Hughes?
You know what? Here, I'm gonna throw something out there on this one.
There's just a lot of good young players on that team.
This is a little. Oh, and I agree. This is a little off topic, though. Is Matt Duchene a guy you really want to go after?
It depends what the price is.
No, I'm just throwing this out there, though.
I think he'd be a good fit on the wing.
No, I know. But Matt Duchene has not lived up to his hype in my mind. And I feel like he's going to go out there expecting to get a ton of money. And I think someone's going to give him a ton of money. And I think 2 years from now, we're still going to talk about Matt Duchene as an underachiever.
Who knows? It's hard. That one's hard to say. Because he had a good first 40, 50 games in Ottawa this year.
He did.
I was like, whoo, this guy is like turning the page. And
he did.
And then he got traded to Columbus and just didn't figure it out. I mean, maybe he can rewrite his script in the playoffs. Who knows?
He could. And I would like to see that too, because I'm not trying to rip on him. I don't know, maybe you know what? Maybe I have too much expectations for him.
Yeah. Well, he is a third overall pick.
I used to watch, I don't even care about that, but I used to watch him in Colorado, and I used to think, how is McKinnon and Duchene not like more? Why is this team,
bad,
chugging along and not, not going?
Yeah.
But let's talk Western Conference predictions. At the beginning of the season, I had Nashville, San Jose in the finals in the West.
Mm-hmm.
You had Calgary, Winnipeg.
Yep.
You had Winnipeg winning that. I had Nashville winning that.
Mm-hmm.
So in the Stanley Cup Finals, I had Nashville, Tampa Bay playing with Tampa winning the Stanley Cup, and I had Tampa winning the President's Trophy, which I was right on. You have Tampa Bay playing Winnipeg with Winnipeg winning the Stanley Cup, and you had also predicted this year that Winnipeg would win that President's Trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
not bad.
I don't think we did that bad this year, Blake,
no.
And I don't think we should be sitting here talking ourselves up, but we're way better than last year.
No, last year was pretty rough. I had Edmonton win the Stanley Cup.
That was bad.
Yeah. So, not as bad as you picking them to make the playoffs, but...
Baloney.
I mean, like, yours isn't as bad as mine. I mean,
No.
Yeah.
No. And one last time this year, Blake.
Well, the Islanders made the playoffs. I'll give it to you. Come on, man.
Come on. I finally nailed a prediction.
Yeah, you did.
46 years of predicting, and I finally nailed one.
Yeah.
No, I just... predicting's a lot of guessing, but I really like doing predictions and watching how they play out. And up next, we're going to do a little bit more of that as we dive into the Eastern Conference up next.
The Debate Hockey Podcast with Brad Burud, online at InsideEdgeHockeyNews.com. We'll be right back.
Cool Hockey is the #1 place to get NHL jerseys. Every fan wants a fully customized NHL jersey made to NHL specs. Check out CoolHockey.com now and use promo code INSIDE20 for 20% off your next jersey purchase.
Back to the show. The Debate Hockey Podcast with Brad Burud, online at InsideEdgeHockeyNews.com.
All right, Blake, it's time to talk Eastern Conference Playoff preview and then our predictions for the first round.
Sure.
Let's dive right in and talk about the number one team in the National Hockey League. They have absolutely rolled this year, and that is the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And they take on the Columbus Blue Jackets in the first round. Thoughts? Well, let's do our prediction on this series first, and then we'll dive into our thoughts on it.
Sure.
I have Tampa winning this one in 6.
You got really? I got the Lightning in 4. I just don't think that Columbus is going to stand a chance. I know you can say the regular season doesn't mean anything in the playoffs, but
it doesn't. But
the season series 8-2 Tampa, 4-0 Tampa, and 5-1 Tampa. Columbus didn't even stand a chance in all 3 games they played.
One thing though to bring up though, Blake.
But I'll say this. Columbus has been playing playoff hockey for the last month and a half. And
Columbus is a different team than half of the times they played them.
Yes, but it's still Tampa Bay.
I know.
I just don't think that there's like Tampa Bay scored 300 goals there, plus 103, 62 wins. I mean, I just don't think that Columbus is going to stand a chance.
You know what I'm really interested to see in this series?
What's that?
I'm really interested to see how Panarin and Bobrovsky play. And not just because we had to talk about them 395 times this season because of are they staying, are they going, are they re-signing, are they leaving? In a way, I want Columbus to win this simply for their management because they've been put behind the 8 ball here, and it would be fun to see them to win a playoff series.
No.
Now that would screw my predictions up, and it would,
that would be a bracket buster.
I think this is going to be an interesting series. I think we will be able to determine what happens after game 1, to be honest with you. Because if Tampa can survive that first period, then it just seems like things calm down. There's a ton of pressure on Tampa.
Oh, there's a huge amount of pressure. I mean, winning the President's Trophy isn't fun.
Well,
it really isn't fun. It's like the Beavers going to the national tournament ranked number 1. You got a target on your back. It's not very fun. Everyone wants to beat you, right? Everyone wants to beat Tampa Bay, and we'll see how they handle that pressure. And because they haven't really battled any adversity this season. I mean, besides Vasilevsky going down with an injury,
that didn't stop them.
That's what I'm saying. But they didn't. They kept winning, so they really they've lost 16 games, but really they don't even know what it's like to lose. Honestly,
here's the scary stats on this. Tampa Bay only lost 16 games this year.
Yeah.
None of them to the Blue Jackets.
No.
And the scoring was 17-3. They only allowed 3 goals to Columbus.
Yep, and that's why I think it's going to be a sweep, man. The Columbus just, I don't think, can match up with them.
Now, the only hope that Columbus has here
is that Bobrovsky steals 4 games.
No, not even that. You know what?
That's the only hope they have.
It seems like every year there's one of those teams that rides the wings of destiny. And
it can be Columbus this year.
I wouldn't guess it would be. I think Carolina has a better chance of beating Washington than Columbus has of beating Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I think this one might be one of the least watched first rounds.
Matchups?
Yeah.
Like Columbus, Tampa?
Yeah, this is the series I'm least excited to watch.
Yeah, no, me too.
I mean, I'll still watch. Obviously, I watch.
Yeah.
Whatever's on, I watch.
But like if the Winnipeg game is on and I'm watching the Winnipeg game.
Yeah, this might be the least watched. And you know what? That's a lot of it's because of expectations.
Exactly. Like if this was Tampa Bay versus say Boston, I'd probably watch it.
Oh, I'm watching that.
I'd be in the second round.
So let's talk about that now.
Sure.
Boston has Toronto in the first round.
Yep.
Boston, the 2 seed. Toronto, the 3 seed. Thoughts on that series? This one, I know me and you've been awfully vocal, and we're not trying to make Leafs fans mad by
No.
means.
We're trying to make you guys mad.
Any series can go any way, but I look at this one, and here's why I feel. Let's do our predictions. We both have Boston in 5. Both of us do.
Yeah.
I think that Boston
owns the Leafs.
Boston's going to own a lot of teams.
They own the Leafs. Playoffs, regular season. The last few years, they just can't get over the hump, and it ain't happening. You can add all the John Tavares you want. John Tavares ain't playing defense for you.
You know, the problem in Toronto is on D.
Yep.
And let's face it, and the facts are the facts. Frederik Andersen has not been good lately.
Nope.
And as much as we can say the regular season's over and it's all new, I agree. But you can't go to bed on Sunday night and wake up Monday morning and feel just like a new person when you played and struggled for the 2 months prior to that. You can't flick a switch.
No. You can with some teams, but like Pittsburgh can flip a switch and roll to the finals. I mean, they have a good team.
I don't think we're talking the same though.
I know, but I'm just saying Toronto. I mean, you can score all the goals you want. It's as simple as that. That ain't how it works in the playoffs. I mean, defense wins championships. You got to have good goaltending. You got to have solid D, and you got to have timely goals. I think they're going to get some timely goals this playoffs, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think that Boston's defense, and the big thing is about Boston is Toronto is nowhere near as tough.
That's the problem.
Nowhere near as deep on the back end. And Frederik Andersen hasn't been Frederik Andersen the last 2 months.
So let me ask you this. Who would you give the nod? If we're talking Toronto's offense versus Boston's offense, who's better offensively?
I say Toronto.
Okay, who's better defensively?
Boston.
By a long shot.
Yeah.
Who's better in net?
I would say Frederik Andersen, but not the last 2 months.
I know.
And that might be the difference. Is in goal. If Andersen is Andersen and he's lights out, Toronto might have a chance, but he hasn't proven to me the last 2 months that he's nearing that form. But the major thing is toughness. I mean, who's going to stand up to Toronto if he roughs up Marner in the corner? Nobody.
I think there's the variables too of
Brad
Marchand
and
Jake DeBrusk.
And 2013, the Bruins scored 4 goals in 10 minutes in Game 7. And then 2017 playoffs last year, Game 7. I mean, there's a history. These two teams hate each other. And I think it's going to be a good series, but I think Boston will take it in 5.
I think what makes it a good series is that it is Toronto.
Yeah.
Let's face facts.
Yeah.
Toronto is the hockey mecca of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And their fans are diehard and passionate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why a lot of people cheer against them, is because of that. Every market wishes that they had the excitement that Toronto has. I think they're going to have some competition this year. A little west.
Winnipeg?
A little further west.
Calgary?
I think they're going to have some competition. But
I love to see that C-Rag get going again.
I tell you what, I just don't see it on paper playing out in Toronto's favor.
No.
And I think you can be as offensively gifted as can be.
It's just the bottom line. That's not how it works in the playoffs.
The playoffs
you ain't scoring 6 goals in the playoffs per game.
You're not.
You got to win 2-1 games, 3-2 games, and I just don't think Toronto's built to play that style with the Bruins. The Bruins can shut them down in the playoffs.
Let's roll on to the next series, and let's talk about the defending Stanley Cup champions, and that's the Washington Capitals taking on the Carolina Hurricanes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 1 versus wild card. I have this series being a little more competitive than probably a lot of other people that I have talked to.
Mm-hmm.
I have this one going 7 games. I do have Washington winning it,
mm-hmm.
but I have it going 7 games. And it has nothing to do with the Surge. Because everybody knows how much I love the Surge. But
you lying today?
No, I hate it. I just freaking hate it.
I have it going 7-2.
I just think that I've been, and I should probably learn from my past. Because I was the same guy that said Washington was going to struggle out of the gate this year. Well, they did, actually. But I thought it was going to continue just because of the fall of winning the Stanley Cup last year. And I was wrong. Washington really, really came on post-New Year and turned out to be one of the hottest teams down the stretch, just winning game after game after game. And but we can't overlook what Carolina has done this year.
Yep.
Carolina's been that team that kind of just found a way. And with goaltenders that nobody would ever expect being successful, they've found a way to put up enough wins to get themselves into a wild card position, the first wild card. So kudos to them. I think this is going to go 7. Offensively, I think Washington's more gifted.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I do see, though, is Carolina's speedy forwards are going to cause problems for Washington.
Yep. Teravainen and
Sebastian Aho led the team with 83 points, 30 goals, 53 assists, and a ton of speed.
Yep.
You've got experience with Justin Williams.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Game 7 himself.
Peter Mrazek and McElhaney, you could put either one in. I'm fine with either one.
No, Mrazek will play.
I think so, but I don't doubt that we don't see both of them in this series.
I disagree with that. I just think that...
I think we will.
It's Mrazek's net. Unless Mrazek implodes, I mean, then I guess you put McElhaney in, but... I have always liked Peter Mrazek. I think he's a guy that's had... He's had potential in everywhere he's been, and I mean he went on a little run with was it last year with Philly?
Philly's had so many goalies. He did. Yes, last year late in this season.
He went on a run last year in Philly.
Lost in the first round.
Yep, and then he came to Carolina, and they caught some fire. And
his postseason interview was really fun to watch. The guy was excited.
Oh, we're in? Yeah, we're in. Yeah,
he's excited.
It was good.
Capitals did go 4-0-0 against the Hurricanes this year, outscoring them 15-9.
Yeah.
I mean, everything points to a successful Washington Capitals series.
I don't think they only played one game since Carolina really got hot, though. I think those 3 previous games are like a beginning, mid-year, I think. I want to say.
I don't even know. I don't know that.
The last 10 though, Washington 6-3-1, Carolina 5-2-3.
So you have to review our predictions on this. I have Washington.
We both have Washington 7. Yeah. So, it's gonna be awesome. I love when teams break long droughts on missing the playoffs. They haven't made the playoffs in 10 years since 2008, 2009, first time. Since they went to the third round and lost to Pittsburgh that year, but I mean, I think Carolina's a great hockey market, and hopefully they
not a great hockey market, Blake.
What?
They've struggled to get fans for years, Blake.
I know, but I'm saying like
we can't. Why do we do?
Okay, it's not okay. Not a good hockey market, a good hockey atmosphere when
they're winning.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't say it's a good hockey.
No, okay, I misjudged that. But like,
because I get real defensive about this because I have nothing against Carolina,
but what they've done the last 2 months with
pretty great
with marketing and thinking outside the box. I think more teams should try to do that.
Show me a full arena next year, and I'll start believing.
Sure.
Okay?
I mean, yeah.
Go on to the next series.
Sure.
And I like this series. This might be my Eastern Conference most excited series to watch. And that's the New York Islanders, the second-place team against the Pittsburgh Penguins, third-place team. This is our only differentiation we have in Eastern Conference predictions, Blake.
In the first round?
In the first round in the Eastern Conference. This is our only difference.
Yeah.
I have Pittsburgh winning in 6.
Why?
Just listen to me.
You predicted the Islanders to make the playoffs, but you're not going to take your boys in the first round?
No, because I predicted them to make the playoffs. I didn't say they were going to win in the playoffs. I said they were going to make the playoffs. this team's. I don't think they're ready to win in the playoffs around, especially over Pittsburgh. Now you've got the Islanders winning in 7.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just following Are you riding my coattails, Blake? Is that what you're doing?
I just like the Islanders team. I
do too.
I like Robin Lehner and Thomas Greiss, and I wouldn't be surprised if they flip-flop games.
I wouldn't either.
It's been working all year long. Why change it? And I'm not sold on Matt Murray. I haven't been.
I am not either.
I haven't been sold on him.
I put him
his
as one
whole
of my
career.
I put him as one of my top 5 overrated players.
Yeah, I'd probably have him in my top 10.
You know what I'm excited about this series? Number one, I've always been I'm not an Islanders fan, but I've always kind of secretly had a place for them, and here's why. Because the Rangers always steal it. It's kind of like the Yankees-Mets thing.
Yep.
Like, the Islanders get crapped on.
Mm-hmm.
And I love watching the Rangers and Lass and the Islanders doing something here now.
Yeah.
You know what's going to be the greatest part of this series?
It's at the Nassau Coliseum.
Oh, the Nassau is going to be unreal.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy atmosphere. And
one of my favorite rinks to watch a game in, too, by the way. It's old, but it's a classic.
I wanted the Islanders to play Toronto first round.
Oh, boy.
Would have been something else.
I'm excited to see Matthew Barzal in this.
Yep.
I agree. Goaltending, they may flip-flop night to night.
Yeah.
Heck, if it's working, why change?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, just because it's a playoffs doesn't mean you need to change what's working.
Mm-hmm.
So we may see that.
But you also want a goalie to get hot.
I know, but if it's been doing it, if it got you where you're at,
but even if
and that team is used to it,
yeah,
like, I just have a hard time changing what's working.
I think Thomas Greiss starts game 1 though. He's got playoff experience.
Huh?
Against Pittsburgh in particular.
I'm gonna bet you Lehner starts.
We'll see. First time since 15-16 the Islanders are in the playoffs too. It's the year they beat Florida in 6 games.
It's going to be... The Islanders are going to win if they get the offense.
Mm-hmm.
They've been great defensively all year. They've
Yep.
just got to be able to capitalize and score those goals.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh
is Pittsburgh. They always hang around and find a way, but
here's one,
I don't think it's going to be this year.
Here's a funny one. We're talking about markets that are excited for the playoffs and markets that maybe aren't as excited. When Carolina makes it into the playoffs, the place was rocking. When Colorado made it to the playoffs, the place was going absolute berserk. When Pittsburgh clinched their playoff spot, the fans acted like there was just old news.
Yeah.
They're so used to it, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think Pittsburgh is just... When you got Malkin, Crosby... Man.
Gensel.
This is a tough team to... Going to be a tough team to beat. I got Pittsburgh in 6. You've got the Islanders in 7. Let's take a look at the Western Conference and break down those series. And then we'll run around and look at some predictions around the hockey world before we go into our last section of Around the League. All right, Western Conference number 1 team, Calgary Flames will host the wildcard Colorado Avalanche. Blake, you have this one, Calgary in 5. I have this one, Calgary in 6.
Yeah.
Thoughts on this series?
Well, this one's an interesting series to me because Calgary won 3 pretty close games in the regular season, but Grubauer has started 8 of the last 10 games for Colorado. He's 7-0-1 in those starts, right? But Grubauer hasn't faced the Calgary Flames this year once. Varlamov started all 3 games against Calgary.
David Riddick started all of the Calgary ones.
No, Mike Smith started 1.
Are you sure? Mike
Smith started the one that Calgary scored 5 goals in the third period because I watched that game live. But you know that's interesting because Mike Smith might have got pulled in that game.
He got pulled.
Yeah, he might have got pulled.
Mike Smith did not.
He didn't win that game. He started that game though. He started that game.
Yeah.
But Calgary is just, to me, they're one of the deepest teams in this playoffs, especially on the back end. And I think like I said, defense wins championships. And if there's a D core in the NHL that is poised to perform well in the playoffs, it's Mark Giordano and the Flames D core, right?
Oh, I look at when you're comparing.
When you're comparing teams, Calgary gets the easy edge in this.
Yeah, they're offensively Calgary is one of the few lines that I can honestly say that I think they can roll 4 lines. I have nothing. Their fourth line has actually been
lots of teams can run 4 lines.
Not at the production level of the Flames right now.
Winnipeg, Nashville.
Yeah, no, I'm not, Blake. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying the production of Calgary's fourth line has been higher than any other fourth line.
Oh, fourth line. Okay,
down the stretch.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you even should be looking for tons of production from your fourth line, because if you're depending on them to score in the playoffs, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is that Calgary has turned into a team of depth, offensively and defensively. Now, if they can stay healthy, I do have a couple. Here's my worries on Calgary. I'll give you my positives and my negatives on Calgary. My positive is that I believe either goalie can get hot and do well. Mm-hmm. I also believe that either goalie can be awful. So that's a fear, is goaltending. Mm-hmm. Offensively, I think this team could be the most explosive team in the National Hockey League in the playoffs. I also think and worry that Johnny Gaudreau folds up like a tent in the playoffs.
I don't think so at all. I mean, he kind of did last couple times, but I think Johnny Gaudreau really took a huge step in the right direction this year. He got 99 points. I mean, this is
going to come down.
He's on a man on a mission, man. It's going to come down to your first line, man. It's going to be Lindholm, Malahar, and what's his name? Gaudreau.
Monahan and Gaudreau.
That's what it's going to come down to. But, and then you got depth scoring with Kachuk.
No one's
James Neal's going to be a deciding factor in the playoffs.
But you know what? You look at the second line. Backlund. He's so underrated.
Yeah, he is.
Backlund, Kachuk, and Frolik. What a great second line.
Yeah.
What a great second line.
I mean, I would argue that Frolik is a third line player.
Well, yeah, but he slots in with those guys and he puts up points when he's with those guys.
Yeah.
Then you got Jankowski, Neal, and
I think Neal's going to get going in the playoffs. I think he's going to get going.
Jankowski, Bennett, and holy cow, that's a great line too. You know what? On paper, it looks, offensively, I favor Calgary. Defensively, I favor Calgary by a mile. The goaltending, I would say, is a wash.
Yeah, it's a wash.
The thing is, if Calgary can shut down Colorado's first line, Calgary wins the series.
Easy, yeah. Easily. But if they don't, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be,
But I got them in 5.
I got them in 6. Let's roll on to the next series, and that is the San Jose Sharks against the Vegas Golden Knights. I think this is going to be a great series.
Yeah, no, if what the last game that these two teams played was a little preview, it's going to be a good series. But
you have for the predictions. We have different here. Mm-hmm. We've had a lot of the same predictions. Mm-hmm. We've had 3 different in the first round, and this is one of them. You have Vegas winning in 6. Mm-hmm. I have San Jose winning in 7.
Yeah, this is the same thing with the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm not sold on Martin Jones at all.
Well, I'm not either. But I also know Martin Jones can be really good.
When has he done that this year? He's had a save percentage under 900.
I didn't say this year. Kelly Rudy said it last night. He goes, "We're gonna see a Martin Jones in this playoffs. It's gonna surprise a lot of people."
We'll see about that.
Well, we will. It's a guess, right? We're all guessing, right?
Marc-Andre Fleury or Martin Jones?
Well, I give goaltending that.
Yeah.
But offensively,
I
give it to San Jose huge.
If they're healthy. If they can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Is Erik Karlsson going to play?
I don't know.
This team is banged up.
I'm not.
Pavelski's playing hurt for sure.
Logan Couture's been really good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
just give the edge to Vegas because Karlsson's starting to score. Tuck's starting to score. Pacioretty's, like, they got Pacioretty, they got Riley Smith.
But they don't score, though. San Jose outscored them this year 18-10, and Vegas has struggled in scoring. They have. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Fleury is probably the best goalie.
18-10. Vegas won 6-0 and 7-3.
Oh, sorry. Vegas outscored San Jose 18-10.
Yeah. Dude,
I don't know. This is gonna be an interesting one.
I don't know. They met last year in the playoffs too, and Vegas won, I believe, 5 games. 5, or did that go 6?
I think it won 6.
Yeah, it won 6. And but these are two teams that have been struggling going to the playoffs. San Jose is 3-6-1 in their last 10, and Vegas is 5-3-2. So it's
both teams have been struggling.
Yeah.
Neither team.
But
is
also that 9 out of those 10 games was with Malcolm Subban in that. So
that's bad.
Yeah.
I will predict this: if Subban makes an appearance, Vegas is in big trouble.
You better hope he doesn't.
What do you mean? Better hope he doesn't. I have San Jose winning. I better hope he does.
Oh yeah, I guess.
You better hope he doesn't.
No, I know. But
I think San Jose is going to do it. I think home ice advantage is going to be key in this one.
Yeah.
On to the next one. Nashville and Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I have Nashville winning this one in 5. You have Dallas winning in 7. Now, this one is the one I'm going to make fun of you the biggest when this series is over.
I just think that Dallas is just I like Ben Bishop a lot. I mean
entertaining one, a fast pace, but a bad giveaway. Heiskanen, Stepan comes in. Toponic to his left. Bishop with a save. Denied. Hinostroza to his right.
Oh, great save by Bishop as he robs Hinostroza.
What a save is right.
That was mammoth. And it was pounded by Hinostroza. Just the length and concentration of Ben Bishop. Wow.
Dallas they've been playing playoff. They've been fighting for their playoff lives for the last month, and they really buckled down in the last 10. They've won 6 of their last 10. They got points in 7 of 10. Ben Bishop just got another shutout last night. But this is you look at the season series. Yeah, Nashville won. They won 4 out of the 5 games, but 2 of them were in overtime. Oh, they were all under 2-goal games. 5-4, 2-0, 3-1, 3-2, and 5-3.
I don't expect this to be a high-scoring series.
No, I not at all. But I think I think the Stars win in 7.
You can. Well, I know you already predicted that.
Yeah.
But I think you can throw your Ben Bishop stuff at me, and I can just say Pekka Rinne. And you know what? If Pekka Rinne is not doing well, I'll put in UC Saros, and he is just as good.
Playoff UC Saros, though?
Come on.
How much experience does he have? That means a lot as a goaltender.
It
yes, it does.
Blake.
Yes, it does.
Okay, look at this. Tell me what goalies in this have experience. Name a goalie besides Marc-Andre Fleury. Name a goalie that you think has experience. Pekka Rinne, how much more experience?
Martin Jones is experienced, but he's not very good.
I mean, you always
Ben
talk
Bishop,
about that.
Rinne.
You always talk about that. Did Braden Holtby have experience before
Tuukka
last
Rask?
year? Yeah, I know, but what is...
Frederik Andersen went to 2 conference finals in Anaheim.
Well,
Braden Holtby. I can play this game all day. There's a lot.
So, offensively.
Who
gives the nod? Nashville or Dallas?
I think they're pretty even.
I think they're pretty even, too. That's why I think it's going to be low scoring.
Yeah.
Who do you think defensively?
Nashville gets the edge.
Who gets the nod defensively?
Nashville.
By a mile.
Yeah. And I'm going to give the edge to Dallas in goal. Really? What has Pekka Rinne proven to you in the playoffs?
Took him to the finals.
They had a stacked team that year.
I don't care. Most teams that win the finals have a stacked team.
Pekka Rinne imploded last year against Winnipeg.
He had a bad game.
He had 2 bad games. They lost Game 6 and Game 7. They had a 3-2 lead in that series, and they lost. And it was because of Pekka Rinne. He got pulled in Game 7. Letting 2 goals on 5 shots. This guy hasn't proven to me that he's the guy that's going to take Nashville to the promised land. I don't think so. I think that Dallas is going to find a way to win this game in 7. Win this series.
This will be an interesting one. I got to feel like this will be the one we debate the most as the series rolls along.
Yeah.
The final series we'll talk about in the Western Conference is the number 2 Winnipeg Jets against the number 3 St. Louis Blues. We both have Winnipeg in 6 on this one, but I think that this is going to be a series that Winnipeg is going to have to struggle through.
This is the worst possible matchup Winnipeg could hope for.
You think so? Why?
Absolutely. Look at how St. Louis has been playing the last 2 months of the season, and I think that
it's been historical.
Mm-hmm. You know, they went from 31st to first in the Central last night. Yesterday afternoon, they were first, and then they lost it and slipped down to third. But this is a team that hasn't, or Winnipeg hasn't played this Blues team since they've been on the surge.
Don't use that word.
Their
run.
Whatever. Their run, but whatever. I mean, Jordan Bainton, what more can you say about this guy? He's 24-5-1, the 189 goals against.
How's his playoff experience?
927. It doesn't.
I just got you to say it. It doesn't matter. Did you just say that, Blake?
No, but
Blake, did you just say that?
But with the guy with Binnington, he's a very confident individual. I'll say that.
Let's put it this way, Blake. Let's be honest.
Goaltending experience.
Every one of these goalies,
it does matter.
Is a good goalie.
It does matter. Playoff experience as a goaltender does matter, and that's why I think Mike Smith will start for Calgary. Because he's got more playoff experience. Though. Okay, but I'm saying. But Jordan Bainton is a confident kid.
He's been great.
And
he's been a fun story to follow.
No, he has been. And, I mean, there was a couple lopsided games in the season series where Laine scored 5 goals against St. Louis. But this is going to be a good series.
I think so, too.
It's going to be a great series.
I'm super pumped to watch this series. I think that I love watching Winnipeg play hockey.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be critical to see how Connor Hellebuck does. He struggled a little bit this year. Didn't have the consistency that we saw from him the previous season.
Yeah.
I still think he's a good goalie. But, you know what here's
last 10, though. Last 10.
I know.
4-5-1, and then St. Louis 8-1-1.
Yeah, I know. But you got guys like Scheifele and Wheeler, like that's a different breed. And you got Kyle Connor.
You got Riley and Tarasenko.
No, I'm not knocking the Blues. I'm not knocking them. I got to go in 6. Holy cats!
Yeah,
that's a hell of an accomplishment because I think Winnipeg.
Winnipeg
series was tabbed the Stanley Cup favorite coming into the season. I mean,
this series could well go to Game 7. It could.
You know what's going to be a difference maker here? If Patrick Laine figures out if he wants to play hockey or not.
Yeah. Do you think how much he gets paid is defined by these playoffs?
I don't know. Yeah.
Because he didn't prove shit in the regular season.
No, I do.
If you don't perform, you might be getting $5 million.
Or you're going to be going somewhere else.
Yeah. You think they really move him?
No, because I think they'll come to an agreement. But they got to figure out a way to keep Kyle Connor.
Oh, I'm paying Kyle Connor before Patrick Laine any day of the week.
I mean, so Winnipeg's got their work cut out for him in that.
Is Morrissey back?
No. Bufflin's back. Bufflin was in a bad mood last night.
Why was he hitting people?
He's dirty. The guy's dirty.
He can be at times. But yeah, I got the Jets in 6. You got the Jets in 6, and
let's talk.
It should be a fun first round this year.
Absolutely.
So a lot of good matchups.
You seen the Vegas odds?
No.
First, let's talk a couple different percentage odds.
Sure.
Money Puck has the favorite to win the Stanley Cup as the Tampa Bay Lightning at 16.2%. San Jose second at 10.4%. St. Louis third at 9.9%. Vegas at 9.3%. Calgary at 8.5%. Carolina at 7.8%. Washington at 4.5%. Toronto at 4.6%.
Where's Winnipeg?
Winnipeg is 2.5%. Nashville is 2.4%.
What?
I don't agree with this one.
No.
Now let's roll on.
Toronto's better odds to win the Cup than Winnipeg? Have they looked at Toronto's decor?
Hey, I don't make those odds. I'm just telling you what it says.
That's not. I don't agree with that at all.
You know, you look at odds, and it's always fun to see, what other people think. Because you know what, we all think that our odds are the best. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we just don't. I mean, we don't know. We're guessing on everything we're saying here too, but I do think teams like Winnipeg and Nashville and those type of teams just are built for the playoffs. Here's the Vegas odds. Let's talk that. Tampa Bay is a 2-1. Boston
2-1. Yeah, 50% chance to win the cup.
That's where Vegas is saying.
Oof.
Boston's 9-1. Washington's 9-1. Calgary and San Jose are 10-1. Nashville is 12-1. Vegas is 12-1. Pittsburgh's 14-1. St. Louis 14-1. Winnipeg 14-1. Toronto 16-1. Carolina 28-1. Islanders 28-1. And then the Avalanche, Blue Jackets, and Stars are 40-1.
Why is everyone sleeping on Winnipeg?
You think that's a good thing if you're
Winnipeg? Yeah, they're flying under the radar a little bit, I think.
I think that's a good thing if you're Winnipeg.
I wouldn't even look at those odds, though.
Here's one of my fun comments, and we'll wrap up these predictions. First round, what series are you most excited to watch?
Ooh, I think it's going to be... I got two.
Okay, give me two. I'm going to give you two.
Toronto and Boston. Just because of the rivalry and the history, and then I'm going to watch Pittsburgh and the Islanders. I'm going to watch Calgary and Winnipeg because they're Canadian teams, but, I mean, I'm going to watch the Pittsburgh Islanders for sure.
I will definitely, obviously, watch the Calgary-Colorado series the most because I am a Flames fan. My other series that I'm really going to pay attention to is that Islanders-Pittsburgh one.
Mm-hmm.
What series are you going to watch the least of?
Tampa and Columbus.
I'm going to give you two of them that I'm probably going to watch the least.
The least, and another one, if I had to give you two, would probably be, honestly, Carolina, Washington. I'm gonna say two. I'm gonna say Tampa Bay, Columbus, same as you, and then my other one is Nashville, Dallas. I'm afraid that's going to be my lost series. But it is Stanley Cup playoff time. The final question before we roll on to around the league: what are you going to do on Sunday night, Monday night, and Tuesday night with no hockey? Yeah, it's going to be rough. Boy. But basketball's starting up, playoffs.
I'd rather watch baseball.
Or baseball. My Blue Jays aren't very good, though, so I don't really like watching baseball.
Wednesday night, Stanley Cup playoffs.
Inside Edge Hockey News. Lighting the lamp and raising the cup.
It is time for a condensed version of Around the League. Blake, we usually talk about 5 to 7 topics.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking 3 today.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go home and we're going to prepare for the Stanley Cup playoffs. First one, Connor McDavid drives the net last night at
42 kilometers an hour.
And buries his knee into the post and leaves with what looked to be a broken leg. X-rays are negative on that, but an MRI is scheduled for either today or Monday. And, you don't have to be it doesn't matter what team you are a fan of. Nobody wants to see the best player in the league injured, and especially in that manner, because that could be a long-term one.
Yeah, and when you see Connor McDavid tell the trainer, it's broke, and it's like, oh boy, this isn't good. And everyone was like, oh, that's a dirty play by Giordano. I'm like, dude, he got beat. He got caught flat-footed pretty damn good.
Well, Connor McDavid is the fastest player in the league.
For Mark Giordano to get caught that flat-footed, it's a pretty fast player, but he turned and he went to dive at the puck, and unfortunately caught his leg, and McDavid was going so fast that he lost an edge and went into the post. I don't think it was just a hockey play.
If McDavid doesn't get hurt there, no one even says anything.
No, I know, exactly.
It's no different than any other.
It's a 2-minute tripping penalty, but I mean it's unfortunate for McDavid to get hurt like that. Hopefully the MRI is good, and because you want that guy healthy for everyone and the fans. He's great for the league.
It's sad. It is a complete summation of the Edmonton Oilers season. Montreal Canadiens, a team that was rolling down the wire to try to get to that last playoff spot, and they failed to do so with a loss on Friday night, and then backed it up with a win against Toronto on Saturday night.
Yeah, what a night!
What a hockey game that was to watch.
You watched it?
I saw the third period, and that was one of
the best periods.
It was fun.
Ryan Poehling, 3 goals, gets the shootout winner. His NHL debut.
3 St. Cloud State players made debuts last night in the league. Blake Lizotte, Ryan Poehling, and Vegas had one. I cannot think of it right off the top of my head. A young defenseman.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun to see if you're a St. Cloud State fan. And Ryan Poehling.
Yeah,
wow.
I was like, because I didn't see him on the ice for like a good stretch when they were down 1. Claude Julien puts him out there, gets the puck. I was like, oh come on! Like he scored a hat trick. I was like,
that's awesome. It was really great though. In the shootout, I was like, well, you got to give it to the kid.
Yeah.
You got to give it to the kid. And then he goes down and
roofs it up.
Snipes a beauty. And oh, man, that was fun to watch. I really hit a good one.
Anytime.
And that was my next topic. We were going to talk about is Ryan Poehling making his NHL debut.
Another scramble at the side of the net. It's in the goal. I guess you might say Delorier is going to get the goal, but it was a scramble and somehow got in past Anderson. Poehling, who scored his first NHL goal, he's on the puck along with Delorier, who's got it back to the blue line, off the crossbar, score! Poehling gets his second goal of his young career. Wow! What a night for this guy. Stride coming in. Score! The Hats are going to rain down in Montreal.
But
how fun was that?
Yeah, no, it was awesome, and it just shows that Montreal's got some good kids in the system. They got Poehling, they got Kotkaniemi. They got good center depth now in Montreal. But at the start of the season, at the start of last year's draft, you would have said, we're a little weak. But they had Kotkaniemi. Now you got Ryan Poehling. You got Philip Deneau had a career year, and then you got Jonathan Drouin too. So it's I think the future's bright in Montreal.
I think it's definitely trending up. I don't know if next year is a year they make huge headway, but they're trending up, and I like actually. How long have we said before? How long has it been since we said we liked what Montreal was doing? But
no, I do.
I do actually like a few things. Yeah. I think there's definitely some positive direction there, and that's good to see. We want to see teams turn over. Mm-hmm. I want to see some of these teams that are out of the playoffs.
NHL, is the NHL one of the few sports that is quick turnarounds? You look at a team, let's say.
Oh, for sure it is.
Colorado missed the playoffs by 40 points, and then they make the playoffs the next year.
Ottawa make the playoffs run, almost go to the finals.
Now they're dead last.
There is that. There's cycles.
Oh man, you gonna watch the draft lottery? I'm not watching. I've told myself, Vancouver's dropped 3 spots the last 3 years. I'm not watching this year.
I always watch those things. I love it.
The Canucks are hosting the draft. We're due.
You know what I want this year? I want the Canucks to finally win so that they can quit complaining. They are the most.
But we have the second. Think about it. Vancouver's rebuild would be over.
Oh, geez,
it would be. Think about it.
Everybody grab a beer and sit back.
Listen, we had the second best odds to get Austin Matthews, and we dropped 3 spots. We missed out on Matthews and Laine, and we got Olli Juolevi.
You told me Olli Juolevi was
I still think he's got a future with the Canucks, but Olli Juolevi to Matthews or Laine? It's a huge difference. little luck hopefully this year. Maybe we get Jack Hughes. Got the Hughes brothers for 10 plus years. It's going to be great.
Oh, with that, we'll move on here. Last night marked the 1-year anniversary of the horrific Humboldt bus accident, and to the members of the team and their families and their friends and the community of Humboldt, the hockey family is not forgotten and will never forget. Our thoughts and prayers and strength goes out to everybody involved with that Humboldt tragedy.
Yeah, I can't believe it's already been a year. It's crazy the support they're still getting on Twitter.
I hope it never ends.
I hope it never ends. Yeah, it's a very tough situation, but I mean Humboldt had a really good year. They lost to the Bruins in Game 7, and hopefully players go on to the next chapters and then continue playing hockey. It's awesome.
Yeah, very sad situation, and they will receive support from us forever. On a positive, let's move on. Everybody, get on your computers and sign up for the Inside Edge Hockey News NHL bracket. That bracket challenge, we want to have as many people get in that as we can and have a lot of fun with that. And picking playoffs and having bragging rights is a lot of fun. You can also win some money and some prizes along the way. So please sign up for the Inside Edge Hockey News NHL bracket challenge. Twitter. Everybody needs to go Debate Hockey. Communicate with us. You can tweet Blake and I. You can make fun of our predictions. You can tell us how stupid we are, what we picked wrong, and hopefully we can prove you wrong. Thanks again for listening. Wednesday night, start of the playoffs. We will be back for another show next week. Did this one a little bit early this week just because we wanted to get our playoff preview out there. It's our favorite time of year. I will expect some late nights up watching, hopefully some triple and double overtime games. That's what it's all about. It's Stanley Cup Playoff hockey. Thanks for listening to the Debate Hockey Podcast. Check out InsideEdgeHockeyNews.com for all your hockey news. Follow us on all forms of social media, and make sure you download the debate on your favorite podcatcher. Check us out on Spreaker, SoundCloud, iTunes, iHeart, and YouTube. A special thanks goes out to our sponsor, CoolHockey.com. Make sure you check out their website, use promo code INSIDE20, and save 20% off your next jersey purchase. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoy this week's hockey action.
Saved by Anderson. Couturier, the sweet setup. Gibson robs Tierney. Save of the game.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Debate Hockey Podcast with your host, Brad Burud. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit InsideEdgeHockeyNews.com and on Twitter at InsideEdgeHOCKE and Facebook at Inside Edge Hockey News. We'll catch you next time.
This has been a production of Inside Edge Hockey News Radio, copyrighted and distributed by the Inside Edge Hockey Media Group.